I'm Marcus.
And I'm Frankie, and welcome back to the Listening Nook, the show where we listen to music from across time and around the world. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Yep. So, last weekend, was the unfortunate death of Bobby Weir of the Grateful Dead, and thinking about it, and how he's had an effect on me. Even the band itself, meant a lot to me throughout my life. I thought that we could start this series off with a Grateful Dead song. And but before we do, just really quick, Mr. Frankie, you know a bit about the Grateful Dead. It's not
Yeah.
completely new to you, right?
Yeah.
Do you know anything about the song we're gonna listen to titled Dark Star?
No.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Well, what we're gonna do, we're gonna listen to it. As we listen to it, we'll discuss what's going on, what it's about. Warning: this one's about over 20 minutes long, but that's why we thought it would be cool to start off with this. Are you
Yeah.
ready?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right. I'm just gonna say this is coming from another song, because if
Okay.
you know about the Grateful Dead, especially back then,
Yeah.
in the late 60s, they were very organic,
Yeah.
So this is just a little thing that's going to lead into Dark Star,
Gotcha.
We'll know the song starts when we hear the iconic bass lick kick in.
Okay.
All right, so let's just see where they're going with this, all right?
Ooh.
There's some quotes and hints that Dark Star is going to come out
it's
already.
coming. It's coming.
Right there.
Yeah. It's like a big stew.
Yep.
We're just kind of stirring it right now. We got all the elements, you know what I'm saying?
Yep, and there's the iconic one.
Oh.
There you go.
Yeah, man. Oh, yeah. This is giving me like Burt Bacharach vibes. Am I saying that name right?
I don't see how it's, but okay.
No? Okay.
We'll see. We'll see what
I feel like it's kind of sounds a little similar to Walk On By.
that is very interesting.
Okay. Everybody in the comments is like, what are you talking about?
Jerry Garcia there.
Yeah.
No. A minor type of jam or
Yeah. Ooh. And the way that everything is panned, the drums, right in this here, it's really nice. Yeah.
he's always had such like confident, strong tone,
I feel like we're family piled into a caravan driving across the desert, you know what I'm saying?
Well, that is the life of many deadheads right there,
It's a good life, though.
I know, yeah. Did you know I did it for a bit?
No way.
Last tour, actually. It was
That's
weird, man. Stuff was getting weird, that tour.
Okay.
Like riots and stuff.
Oh. Little thing there.
if you're not used to listening to this kind of music, especially the Dead, I recommend to focus your listening onto the bass.
Okay.
And how that conversation works with the rest of the musicians, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, the bass is so melodic.
Yeah, yeah. Going back to that riff we heard earlier.
Yeah, the bass is everywhere.
Oh yeah,
It's doing
yeah.
everything. That's so cool, though.
There's no one like him. His name is Phil Lesh.
Okay.
It's iconic how he plays the bass. It's not in the pocket at all. You know?
Yeah, it's almost like. I don't know how to explain it. It's like he's like improvising at the like. I don't know. He's as much like syncopated as anybody else. You know?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. One. I think again, listening to the bass with the rest of the music, it gives you a better 3D effect of what's going on musically here.
Mm-hmm.
But I've heard Phil Lesh, the bass player, talk before about his playing. It's funny. He's very humble. He said, "I don't know why people make a big deal about what I do. All I do is play scales." And in a way, he's not wrong. You know. But it's the way he plays the scales and works off of the whole improvisation of the band. You know
that reminds me of I think it's in the Coltrane Quartet Plays in that album, and some of the songs in there, I think it was Chim Chim Tree, but the way who is that? Oh my God, I'm gonna sound like a loser not knowing who this dude is. Who's the bass player?
It seems like it's right on the tip of your
like
brain, though.
Jimmy Garrison, is that a bass player? Is that a bass player?
We got a really good piano player in the other room right now. I mean,
I don't know. Oh my God, I'm gonna sound like I'll
It's
put
all
something.
right.
I'll put something up on the video.
Yeah.
That bass player, the way he walks, it's so syncopated. It's almost like taking from some like the Afro-Cuban kind of style where everything's syncopated and whatever. His bass playing reminds me a lot of that, where it's like everything's kind of, it's super hip, and he's not really. It's just like a really good. It's like counterpoint almost. You know, it's like a good fugue.
Yep.
Everything's working off of each other. You know, it's like a psychedelic fugue.
Psychedelic fugue. It works well, especially with this. And I'll just with that is with the Grateful Dead. I mean, there's been many types of cover bands and very successful ones of the Dead in their music, and there are guitar players that can sound very close to Jerry Garcia. The rhythm players sound very close to Bob Weir. You know, he has his own. If you listen to the rhythm guitar player, he has his own style of. They also play melodically all over the neck. You know, players that sound just like the Keys, but there are no bass players that can come close to Phil Lesh. You go out, man. Listen to all those Dead cover bands. No one comes close to Phil Lesh, man. It's because I believe it's in the feel and his way of thinking, you know.
Yeah.
Which really says something, right?
Yeah.
You know, I think so. Let's go back and see where we're at here with the song. they all know when to leave space too.
Yeah,
Like, you
yeah.
know, it's leading right here into the verse 1.
Dark star crashes, pouring its light into ashes. Rays untacted,
Yeah, man.
the forces tear loose from the axis.
Whoa.
Searchlight casting
Yeah.
for faults in the clouds.
His voice
of
is almost
the
like desperate in
Yeah.
a way,
Yeah,
but
that's great.
it's like
Shall we go?
it's floating on top of
You
everything.
and I, while we
Whoa.
can.
It's like there's so much stuff happening.
The transitive nightfall of dawn.
I love how the drums there's no drums here. I love that.
Chill for a bit.
It wouldn't work with the drums playing.
I mean, you got the
Yeah,
mallets
percussion.
there. I just want to all right, from there, because it's gonna go places, you know. So about Dark Star, it's not rare for a Dark Star to be about like 45 minutes or so. This is actually a short one, and
Okay.
it was hard picking one. I wanted to pick from 8/27/72. Yes, I know dates of that, which was done at the Creamery. That's one of my favorite Dark Stars, but it was very long. And there's a video for it as well. And if you haven't seen it, I recommend it. I thought it would be cool with the video, but then I forgot this is at like a hippie festival in the Middle Oregon, so there's also a lot of nudity in it too. So I wasn't sure that would be good for our first video or anything.
Yeah.
But anyway, the whole thing about Dark Star, is any deadhead knows, is that it's a place and time used for especially spacey experimentation. You see, this is where they can go out the most, besides maybe the things they leave called drums in space, you know. But
Yeah.
I wouldn't even be surprised if drum in space kind of like evolved from the idea of Dark Star. But this is where they dig the deepest. They really go into space, you know.
What's the you said it's usually around 45. What's the like maximum length?
Longest Dark Star ever.
Yeah, longest Dark Star ever.
I'm not sure, because sometimes actually what they do, you know, in organic ways of playing, they'll start Dark Star, play for like 20 minutes, go into another song, say, come out of that song, back into Dark Star, you know. So it's really hard to gauge that and figure that out.
Okay.
But you see, this is known another space and time in music where they really let loose. I mean, a lot of people say that Dark Star is something that's always going on throughout eternity, and the dead just will go and open it up for a little bit, you know, and then close it when they're done, you know. So it's a very magical, you know, cosmic type of experience to have. And this is one of the early versions, you know. I mean, they've been playing it for a few years.
When is this from?
I believe this album is 69, so the show could be 69 or 68 when they did this. You know, it was probably somewhere in San Francisco, where this came from. But yeah, and you listen to the Dead from 1974, their Dark Star, completely different, but still has that experimentation, that cosmic edge, you know. But yeah, let's continue and pick out little things here and there as the song or as the Dark Star progresses. Garcia coming out with these like bell type of sounds. Release, yo.
Wow. The percussion sounds a little bit like cicadas on a summer
I
night, you know
love
what I'm saying?
that.
Super organic stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Really, really good.
I love how you pick up on that. Yeah. How does this sound to you? Because I know a lot of people, this might sound like just noise or just a jumbled free mess, which it totally is not. So what are your honest thoughts so far?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just picking up like they're just I feel like with a lot of the jam band stuff and like the Dead
Mm.
and Fish um for example, I feel like a lot of the stuff they put down, and maybe they're totally different, and maybe
Mhm.
Grateful Dead fans are gonna be super mad at me for saying this, but I feel like with both of them, like they just kind of weave this tapestry of just like sound and a sonic tapestry, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like this is like they're just kind of adding threads to it, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And then you're not really sure what the quilt is supposed to represent until you know maybe a release and you get part of it there, you know what I'm saying? Or it builds up more and then okay, I can see where we're going, but for me it's like yeah, it's we're going on the journey with them, you know what
Yep,
I'm
yep,
saying?
yep.
And I'm just enjoying where it is right now. I don't expect it to be in some place and some time, you know what I'm saying? I'm just
Yep.
really like kind of where the atmosphere is right now and just trying to pay attention to where they're bringing it and maybe that sounds like gibberish, but
It doesn't sound like gibberish, you know. Are you grasping the vision of
Yeah.
them taking us on a journey type of
yeah,
thing? Yeah,
yeah, and I think it really does I think it really does reflect the time that this was made. Like
Oh yeah,
I feel like, you know,
I
I can
smell the incense, man.
yeah, I mean I can see, you know, the hills of California behind us, you know what I'm saying? It's
Uh-huh.
very of that place in the world and such a beautiful place and such a really cool time
Yeah.
to be around. So,
Uh,
but yeah, no, I'm ready. I'm excited to keep listening here. So,
yeah, yeah, and I haven't heard this version in like a while, so it's really
Okay.
cool. Like coming back to it.
Yeah.
and especially this more antique Dead that I like to call it.
sure.
The 60s
Okay, the
stuff, you
antique
know?
then.
That's
That's cool.
But yeah, let's return.
Let's
It
keep
looks like
going. I think a lot of that drive and forward motion comes from the bass as well.
Yeah, yeah.
It's he's always doing something different. It's almost working a way like jazz works, where the bass is most almost steady the whole time, and the drums are allowing to kind of meld and accent and do stuff like that.
There's
But
a
at
lot.
the same time, the bass is doing a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of jazz inspiration here for sure. Raga as well. Little crack, like the crack sound.
Yeah. That organ is super light. I don't even hear it most of the time, but when it comes in and it's noticeable, it's really intentful. I love that.
Yeah.
Wow.
And going up that octave there to
Yeah.
more quieter. It's usually the other way around. Octave off, the octave, bring it up.
Yeah. What? Oh man. It's like we just took whatever was happening and we just split it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Stopping it there. It's a bit sacrilege to do that, but um, generally, I consider Jerry Garcia a very melodic player.
Okay, yeah.
He comes up with all these fantastic melodic ideas. When he's soloing, but like many really amazing improvised type of musicians, he's not a one trick pony.
Yeah.
He can do like really spacey sounds. He can just rock out on riffs and stuff like that. What he seems to be doing in this particular Dark Star a lot is repeating patterns,
Sure,
and then
yeah.
working with them. And what
I was gonna say, maybe this is also sacrilege to say, but it does remind me a lot of Trey's playing when we were listening to Fish.
yeah.
all that pattern work, and I'm sure that Trey got it from the Dead, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, and that particular song "Stash," which is also based a lot. Well, that particular one was based a lot on patterns and variations of patterns, and
Yeah.
that's what he seems to be. That's what Garcia seems to be doing here. And I think one way to really grasp the idea and the vision behind these type of patterns is to listen to it. Eyes closed helps. But to listen to it with all the other musicians glued to what's going on. I feel a lot of people are trained to listen to guitar solos by just listening to the guitar as the forefront, as, they're called a guitar
Yeah.
solo for a
Yeah.
reason. But in the case of the Dead, even when Garcia is really ripping and, he sounds right up in front,
Yeah.
I think those who know how to listen deeply to this kind of music understand how important it is to bring all the musicians up
Oh.
together
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
hear how they work with each other,
Yeah.
how they are a part of the same organic machine.
Yeah.
We talked about Phil on bass, but even Bobby Weir. Listen to how what he's doing with the guitar. You don't think of it as just a rhythm. It's literally, he's called a rhythm guitar player, but that's not really what he's doing. It's
Yeah.
just playing the rhythm. Dun, 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 dun. He's not.
Yeah.
He's mending the parts and creating little bridges and
Yeah, for sure. I feel like he blends so well with, I'm sorry, what's the lead's player's name?
Jerry Garcia.
He blends so well. Yeah, with the lead where it's like it almost tricked me for a little bit. I felt like it was like one instrument.
Oh,
What is the instrumentation? Is it drums, bass, two guitars, keys, or in this case organ?
Yeah, we had Pigpen out. Also during this time, they had another guy, Tom, who would come in and play. But I think this is, in this particular one, it's Pigpen, because Pigpen is a pretty simple player. He's playing standard chords.
Yeah.
He stays in the back. His real job in the Dead that time was to come up and do a lot of his bluesy type of stuff.
I got you. Yeah.
He sang a lot, played his harmonica. He was known as the blues alcoholic, not the trippy hippie in the band.
Okay. Okay.
And then they had two drummers.
Two. Okay.
Yeah, so that's why you can hear you might hear a steady beat going on, but then hear all this other percussion.
Okay. Yeah,
as
I was
well,
wondering that. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. So they, as well as any people who came up on stage and
Yeah.
read poetry or danced or very
That's cool.
organic stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, let's keep going here.
Let's do it.
Let's see. Back up a little bit. I don't know if we can finish it out or not. Okay.
I love the drums in this.
Yeah.
In this part.
It's
here.
just festering. That's what they're doing.
Sounds like they're kind of getting grounded a little bit now, you know?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I love the patterns.
Oh.
It takes a real mature musician to kind of stick in the pattern, you know, and meld as well as these guys do with each other. Nobody is playing with ego.
And a lot of awareness, you know, being
Ooh,
aware
yeah.
of what's going on. So, I know Frankie here. He's been studying jazz, modern jazz a lot. Are you still in your Pat Metheny era right now? or-
Sure.
Yeah,
I mean,
okay.
we're coming out the back end of it, but
Well, I don't know what Pat think. I never heard Pat Metheny talk about the Dead or Garcia or anything like that. But I see some similarities between the two, especially melodically. You know,
yeah, sure.
not so much like harmonically or anything like that. I consider that's completely different. But and the one thing also that I mentioned that I see a lot of between the Dead and I guess a lot of jazz is the awareness, you know, and that's something I don't even hear taught much in I don't know if they talk about this in your high school jazz band. It was just being aware of everything that's going on, every little sound and where things might be going, where they came from.
Yeah. No, they don't talk about that. But now that's getting me. I should bring that up because that's so important.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah,
especially as younger musicians trying to kind of sound mature or just learning, it's so important that you are aware, you know what I'm saying? Because that's how things grow. You can't grow if you aren't aware. You know, you can't make something collectively if you aren't aware of the other people playing around you.
Yep. And by aware meaning like truly very aware of the smallest detail. Like this came up too a long time ago. Frankie and I were talking about as a composer, you should be very aware of every sound of the instrument. For example, if you're going to write for strings like the cello, you should be aware of how the wood sounds of that instrument and how the bow is going to sound on the strings. I mean, this is something you need in your imagination, you know. Something that is hard to teach, and it's good to let students come to their own, but I think it should still be discussed, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
And with songs like Dark Star with the Dead, awareness is a huge ingredient of this kind of collective playing.
It's the magic ingredients, the key that makes everything that they do possible.
Yeah, for sure.
And just in general, like in music in general, like awareness is pretty much the key.
Yeah. I mean, there's some music where I think it's actually good where there's no awareness. I guess some of it's debatable. I know, and I mean this in a good way. Like I think some punk music, it's great how it's just energy.
Yeah.
Like especially younger people coming out, playing the music is extremely loud,
Yeah.
just being punk and
Yeah.
not really concerning themselves with, the sound of the strings of the bass player when he gets
Sure.
higher notes or anything like
Sure. Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Fair. Yeah.
One question. In
Mhm.
your school, since we're talking about your school, are there any deadheads? Anyone walk around with Grateful Dead shirts or anything like that?
I'm sure there are.
Hmm.
I feel like that's my answer for everything that you asked me about my school. I haven't heard a lot of or seen a lot of people that are fans of the Grateful Dead. Um, I'm definitely sure that somebody's into it and probably thinks it's a deep cut, that's their niche. And I guess it is, I guess, in terms of like, what kids listen to nowadays. But no, not too many that I'm aware of.
All right, just curious. When I saw that whole Dead and Company thing a few years back.
Yeah,
And I was surprised at how many young people I
That's
saw.
cool.
Like some of them, I would think they were high school age.
yeah,
Maybe some of them went just for the party, but it seemed like they left satisfied and they enjoyed the music.
that's awesome. Yeah.
it was cool to see.
It's cool because this is music that I think is popular, but is also a little obscure and isn't necessarily like of the popular like genus. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah.
Like
yeah,
the
yeah.
music contrived to be listened to, like a Taylor Swift or others. It's not super like that, but in the grand scheme of music since the 20th century, this is pretty popular.
Yeah, Dead are really popular. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, they were at a point where they were filling up stadiums.
Yeah.
And what's cool about that, because they continue to play music like this. If you're there and you're part of it, you all feel like part of a family and everything. But it's also cool because you turn around and look while they're playing this kind of experimental music, and you think, all like tens of thousands of people are just digging this right now.
Yeah.
And that's such a cool thing. How so many people are turned on to this pretty far out kind of music.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that with other like Fish is another one.
Yeah.
They can sell out stadiums and they can turn so many people on to this weirder, unconventional type of music, even just for a little bit. I love
Yeah.
it. That's so good.
It's really powerful. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's finish up what's going on here and see what else we have here. There's that riff. Vocal line. That was wonderful. Listen to Bobby there, guitar. Oh man.
Yeah, I feel like they just kind of, it's so organic. It's like
Yeah.
waves.
Exactly.
They're up and now we're back down.
Yeah, man. Dynamics.
Is this the second verse?
Yeah. Sometimes they do it. Sometimes they don't.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes no verse.
Glass and dissolving in ice, petal flowers revolving. Lady in velvet recedes in the nights of goodbye. Shall we go? You and I, while we can. Through the transitive nightfall of diamonds.
And they kind of just transition into another song. Probably Saint Stephen. I don't know.
Ah. Very cool.
I mean, there's a lot to say. We're kind of limited because the
Yeah.
thing itself is pretty long. So unfortunately, we can't go off as much as we like to. But I am curious, Frankie, what are your thoughts about this? Initial thoughts on
Yeah.
it, just as a listener or musically, or did you feel like you can use any of this, or what happened in your head?
Yeah, it's super organic, and I think that's the biggest thing that I pulled. Like, it has this way they created this sound. It's always, it just feels like that caravan on the outback that is just, it's just always going, We're always a part of the journey. We're always going somewhere. And that's a really cool, it's a really cool vibe, and also just, I think, in general, I feel like that's the Grateful Dead's vibe a little bit. You know what I'm saying? We're going, and you can join us. You can hop on, you can hop off, whenever. But it's super cool, and I think I really, like, I think lately, I've been really trying to control every bit of, like for my band's last performance. It was super controlled, and we knew it was going to happen every time. And just taking that and just putting a little bit of the freedom that has, there's something so I feel like almost primal, an innate sense in human beings about the way that they grow, and then kind of release these different sections that I think, no matter, if you only listen to pop music or you only listen to classical or whatever, whatever your musical listening background is, you can understand this and enjoy it to some degree. And I think that, it's a really powerful tool, and I definitely want to use that with my band, and just in general, like, allowing music to be unpredictable and kind of surprise us. I think that's a really powerful thing.
I yeah, completely agree. And how you were saying earlier, it comes in waves when you're listening to this, and
Yeah.
that's a thing that happens a lot in Dark Star. This idea will come, it'll mutate, or it'll
Yeah.
formulate, or it'll spin variations off itself, and
Hmm.
then we'll get down a little bit to just a little
Yeah.
rhythm groove, but then something else will come along.
But I also love the fact that they're not afraid to let something go.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
that's
enjoying something in the moment,
uh,
being with it, and then
uh,
when its time is over, not feeling, bad that it's over, but, good that it happened and that they
yeah,
grew that. I think that's also super important in music, the fact that
mm,
nothing, no piece of music in terms of live performance, is necessarily permanent,
mm,
and just enjoying while it's there, and, being, happy that this idea grew and it blossomed, and we don't need to, you know, do it too much. Just let
mm,
it do its thing, and let it go. But yeah,
yeah.
I really love that.
It's very much in the moment. I mean, us
Mhm.
sitting here listening to it the way we are, of course, it's a lot different than being at that place at
Yeah.
that time with the excitement going on.
Yeah.
That's a whole different level of
Yeah.
experiencing this kind of music, knowing that was created there at that moment and you
Mm.
were a part of it. And,
Yeah.
you know, even the way they had their shows, it was very much an open thing. People would go up on stage. There'd be,
That's cool.
babies up on stage up there. I mean, people.
That's cool.
It was this literally this community.
Yeah. That's awesome
Yeah,
though.
and just how the idea of music put all that together.
Mm.
Yeah, the organic adventure of this kind of music, like you said, you don't know what might happen. You don't know where the music might go.
Yeah.
It's the mystery behind it. It's still rare, even though a lot of people were inspired by this type of music. But you'll find it in places, like I think a lot of the early '70s Miles Davis stuff had a
Oh, okay.
similar, in a very different
I'll have
way,
to
but
brush up on that a little bit.
yeah, in a
I
silent
don't.
way, that kind of
Hmm.
stuff. If you
Yeah.
listen to that, which is I think kind of similar to Dark Star in a way. It's chill, it's exploratory, it's cool.
Cool.
But
Yeah.
anyway, this was because Bob Weir had passed. We wanted to start off with something that I think related to that.
Yeah.
For me, he was a big part of my life, as a lot of musicians and artists were. But one thing that I personally learned from the Dead was everything we just talked about. I
Mm.
was drawn to the more adventurous, organic way of playing music,
Mm.
and playing within the unknown.
Oh.
To me, that's I think how I live my life a lot.
Oh. Yeah. That's awesome.
um Anyway, I think you had some great thoughts on it.
Oh,
Any
I
other
appreciate
closing
that.
thoughts there
Um,
on this or
I feel good about what was said, and I really want to dig into the Grateful Dead more. And if you guys have any comments for us about Dark Star or the Dead in general, let us know, and let us know if there's anything else you want us to listen to. It can be the Grateful Dead, can be whatever. But yeah, no, I just had a really, really good time. But yeah,
yeah, cool. Maybe our next thing will be from another part of the world and time
yeah,
and history. Just we we're into it all.
we'll mix it up.
We'll mix it up, and hopefully you guys can help us. Don't be shy with anything.
Yeah,
We'll take anything.
we'll do it all.
Cool. Well, thank you for sticking around this long, and we'll see them next time.
Yes.
I think.
And as always,
Mm,
do the like,
mm,
do the comment,
mm,
do the subscribe,
mm,
and for this one,
mm.
I'll tell you where the bell is. You have to go ring it.
Oh.
Because the Grateful Dead is from San Francisco, you got to go travel to San Francisco. You'll like the
Okay.
vacation. It's going to be fun.
Mm.
And so San Francisco is known for the Golden Gate Bridge. So
Oh.
if you go to the Golden Gate Bridge, you'll find on one of the little top of the towers that is held. I won't tell you which because that's kind of the fun. You got
Okay.
but there's a little bell there. There's a little golden bell. And so if you climb up there and you find it, I won't tell you which one, but climb up there, find it, go ring it. It'll be awesome, and you'll enjoy yourself. So that's where the bell is this time. But yeah.
Yeah. See you
Okay.
next time.
See ya.
Later.